I guess that's my signal that you're ready to go. Before you get really super cozy, take a peek at me real quick, my friends. I'm just gonna show you what this looks like. So back body push-up, when you get to your backs, and we won't do this immediately, but it's coming. You'll be lying out flat with your fists down at your sides, and you're gonna use everything from your head to your shoulders to your heels to press down. Can you see my butt? It may not lift, but that's what we're going for. So we're gonna release, and then we'll use everything to press, watch my buns, and rise up. And you'll feel a real tightening on the backs of your bodies. So go ahead and lie down with me, right on your backs. And that'll come in a moment. Let's get stretched out first. As you're making your way down to your mat, just take your time. We're gonna try to make each transition, especially when we're up and down and over and about, really soft and gentle. Take your knees, steeple them together, and bring your heels as wide as your mat. And then let's just move a bit through our belly. So we're gonna lift our navels to the sky and then do the opposite. Press your low back down, like a baby cat-cow here. Lift navel, find that low back arch. Press your low back down. Continue like that, but start breath with it. Breathing in to open your belly, and then breathing out to press your low back down. Nestle it really strong into the mat. So we're doing this in the beginning to find our breath, but also to notice how we can be really strong in our belly, engaged through our belly, and keep it tight when we start some ab exercises in a minute. So one more round. When we rise, this is what we want to avoid when we're working our core. When we're down, strong, low back in, this is where we want to stay. Pause there for a moment. Sweep your arms up and overhead, and then wiggle your heels under your knees to start some roll-ups through your spine. Tuck tailbone towards backs of knees. Breathe in and rise. A tiny little bridge. Breathe out and melt your back down again. First things in the morning like this, we may not have a lot of mobility in our backs. So let's not get discouraged. We're going to approach every little move we make with kindness and compassion. Continue rolling, finding a little bit of articulation through each vertebrae. But most importantly through class today, moving with our breath. Let it be your guide. Next inhalation, next rise up to bridge. We're going to try to stay really softly squeezing through our backsides to open the front body more. Lifting up through left heel, squeeze calf into shin, release. Right heel, squeeze up and release. Both if you can, squeeze, release. Like we're gonna pop a water balloon between our knees. We're internally bringing energy, squeezing thighs towards one another to protect our knees here. Try 2 more big squeezes through your heels. Last one. Slowly replacing our spines right on down into the mat. Wrapping hands or forearms around your shins. And like we would hug into that little ball, but today I want to make it a little stronger. Tuck your nose up towards your knees and then rock around a little bit. If it feels better with your head resting, you're welcome to stay down there. Little topsy-turvy. If you tumble to one side, come on back to me. And once you get done with your spinal massage, stay in the center, but start to kick your legs like you're going to open them. So you really round into your back and you get this great shoulder stretch. I like to hold one hand on each shin so I have a nice grip. And then I'm going to try to straighten my legs and it pulls you up into a big high ball. Release that. Twice more with your in-breath. Start to kick into your legs. Stay at the tippy top, sip in a little bit of extra air. Exhale, release. Try that one more time. Kick your legs, really opening your back and your shoulders. Stay at the top, squeeze a little extra. Exhale, release. Very nice, my friends. Stretch back out long, like you've just woken up this morning, and reach everything on out. Try that little baby cat-cow in your belly. Lift your navel. Pull your back down. Try again. Lift. Pull back down. Now stay with a really conscious breath here. Strong, engaged belly like we're trying to press back in. Let's try that back body push-up. Fists down by your sides. Flex your feet strong so your heels are in the ground. Press your head, your shoulders, your heels, and your fists down to squeeze your backside and see if you can make any space under your buttons. Just a little rise. Release. Even your fists. Let everything go. So nice. It's a melting sensation there, right? Twice more. Fists. Flex feet. Squeeze through your backside to press shoulders down, back of head, heels, calves, or they may be rising. Release. Let yourself melt for a second. That's such a good sensation. And then one more. Press fists, heels, calves, shoulders, anything in contact with the mat, and see what you can rise. Maybe the calves lift on this one. And release. Great job, my friends. Take a big, refreshing breath out here. Hugging our knees back into our chests. Might take a little wiggle now to get the back to be really soft and free again. Extending toes to sky. And let's take a big stretch. Hold on to something. Thighs, backs of knees, calves. Stretch your legs towards your nose, but flex your feet really strong. Then point, flex, and point. Notice the sensations. Really nice change, right? So what feels best for you? I like a flex. I'm going to keep my feet flexed. Both hands hold the left leg, and your right leg either extends out or toes to floor. Switch legs. Same thing here. Left leg extends out or toes to floor. Pilates single leg stretches. Just take it as you breathe. Inhale and exhale. But if you feel really good, we're going to try to tuck our chins towards our knees, lifting through the upper body. And then let's make sure our necks are really happy. So eyes to sky. Never need to move fast through our yoga practice. Strong and slow keeps us really supple. So you move as fast or as slow as you'd love to move today. And then let's move from this single to a little double pulse. So it looks like this. We grab our left leg, we go, switch legs. Grab right leg and just little tug twice. I use an exhalation there. Kind of like you're pressing down on your belly and wringing out every little bit of air that's in there. Inhalation to switch. Let your breath be your guide. Trying for 4 more rounds here. Really getting our belly strongly engaged. Low backs down. 3 more rounds. Rest your head and neck. Anytime it gets too tired to hang in there. 1 more big round, my friends. Breathe in. Breathe out. Rest your head and neck and tuck your knees into your chest. Well done. Eye gaze over left shoulder. Let your neck be free. Eye gaze over right shoulder. All right, 1 more round of bridges. So we're flip-flopping from front core to back core here. Heels down, arms wherever you like them, but I request that your palms stay up. That way we don't press with our arms. Palms up. Rise to bridge whenever you're ready, but stay at the tippy top this time. If you prefer clasping hands under your buns and walking up to shoulders for the higher version, go for it. Nice chest stretch here too, if you like that. When you're ready, knees into chest. Right knee pulls in, squeeze, and then release, like a little march here. Left knee into chest, squeeze. Trying to keep all that beautiful height under our backsides. 1 more round each way. Give yourself a big crunch, my friend. Squeeze in, and then release. Adding a leg extension. Knee, extend, rebend, and replace. Feeling a little stretch through our hamstrings here. And floating with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. So nice. Really strong and slow. Are you able on these last 4 to boost up higher? Right here, lift up. Might be a heel lift on that bottom foot. Let's try that. Ready? Lift. Good job. 2 more. All right, last one. Slowly, if hands are clasped, undo that. Sweep them back out to your sides. Tuck tailbone towards knees to articulate your spine back to the earth. 1 more massagey hug, but this time knees out wide to armpit, so it feels a little wider, a little different on your back. You can tuck your nose up towards your knees to round a bit more, maybe more sensation this way. And we're going to do 1 more set of front core. When you're done rocking and rolling, knees come to 90 degrees just above our hips. If we bring them too close, we lose the impact on our core. So right above hips, make a promise to yourself. Reach your fingers towards your toes along your mat. Start to pump vigorously through the arms. So I think you know what I'm gonna say. Pilates 100s, we can stay with head and neck down. I want you to focus the most energy on your navel. Zip tie it down towards your spine, keeping low back flat on the mat. And if you feel good with that, tuck your chin to your chest, lift up. Still feel okay? No air under your low back. Really pull it in tight. Right leg extends a little bit and rebends. Left leg extends a little bit and rebends. Make a little personal fan for yourself here. That's our bonus. If it feels good, we're adding on. Both legs extend. Doesn't have to be fully straight, as much as you can. Can you pump a little bit more vigorously? Straight, strong, steel rod arms. Brighten up your toes, really opening toes. Stay lifted. We have 4 more. 3 more. Low back down. Yes, belly in, breath full. 1 more big extension. Keep anything that feels like it's a challenge for you, and we have 4 more seconds of these pumps and Pilates 100s. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Head and neck down. Legs into chest. Great job, ladies. Rock side to side to give yourself a reward. And then 1 more big stretch. Come all the way back out into your good morning stretch. That's nice after core work. But scoot both heels over to the left. Both arms over to the left for banana. Right ankle crosses over the left. Left hand holds the right wrist. So really pulling into this banana shape. Delicious on the right side, isn't it? 1 more big breath in. At the bottom of your exhalation, you probably know what we're doing. Walking right on over to the other side. Everything to the right, reach. And then cross your left ankle over right. Right hand holds the left wrist to give you that extra little tug. Envision your breath weaving through your left ribs, really opening, like it's cleaning and polishing all of your rib bones. Creating space in the hip, your left armpit, all the way up through the left side body. Right on back to center. And we're gonna go for graceful, but it may not be. Kind of like a hot dog in a roller. Roll your body on over. And if you fell off your mat, it's okay. Wiggle yourself back to your mat so you're really cozy. Stretch all the way out so you get as long as you can. Toes back, fingers forward. Make a pillow with a hand for your forehead. Lift your toes, knees, and thighs off the mat and squeeze your big toes towards one another. Let them fall open. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. There's no rush, but we're gonna squeeze as quickly as we can to get a little bit of warmth into our back sides and our inner thighs. Keeping our heads down like we're fogging up a mirror under our noses. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Lots of breath here. We have 4. 3 seconds of squeezes. And 1. Toenails connect. Brighten up your feet so your kneecaps may have risen. Scoot palms to come just outside your shoulders. Tuck chin to chest and start with the upper body lift. Stay up as high as you can and then hover your fingers here. So you're not forcing, you're inviting. Toes pressed down, really strong in our legs. Let's start pulsing from the backs of our necks up. Ready? Squeeze, release, squeeze. Use your breath, my friend. I think an exhalation really helps me rise, like my balloon inflated in my belly, and it kind of boosts you up. So I like to go. And sometimes a really loud exhalation through the mouth will keep you accountable for that breath. 3. 1 more big squeeze. And release. Beautifully done. Sphinx posture. Forearms to the floor. Brighten up your heart. Really try to open it through the window of your arms. And pressing elbows down. Act as if you could draw them down towards your big toes. Ooh, feel that? As soon as you start to integrate that, press down and pull back, you get a beautiful back stretch. Let's draw big toes in together again. Notice how that changes your stretch. Press them out a little longer and pull the top of your head away. 1 more big breath in here. On your exhalation, back to child's pose. We're gonna work out a little bit of that strength we gained in our backs. So before your buns hit your heels, take a sway side to side, a little swing with your tailbone. Drop down as much as it feels good. If you drop lower, you'll feel a little more sensation up into your shoulder blades. If we stay higher, it's just more in the low back. Decide what's best for you today. And one more big side stretch. Take your right toes and stick them out to the side with your blade edge down. I'll show you this from the front. And then walk your hands over to the right side. So we're stretching away from our right toes. Try to bow your nose down towards your mat. If you're not feeling much sensation here, suction cup your fingertips down so we get a big stretch under the right shoulder blade. Softening your right hand, breathing energy up through your inseam. Come on back to the center when you're ready. Same thing other side. Let's shift forward and then back. Shift forward, send your left foot out. Soften that knee. If it feels great to stay here, please do. Otherwise, reach away from your left toes really far. Attempt to bow your nose down towards the mat. For a bigger sensation, we would suction cup our fingertips towards one another, waking up our wrists. One more big breath in here, yogis. Come on back to the center, but this time as we shift forward, we're gonna stay tabletop. And let's work on our little bit of wrist awakening. We're gonna take the back of one hand anywhere that we can. If it has to face the other hand, that's great. It could face the knees, whatever works. And then begin to fan fingers open as wide as possible and move any way. Move a little bit each way. If you'd like to get a bottom of foot stretch at the same time, tuck all of your toes. That's so nice. One more round of breath. Now let's take this hand and see if we can make a fist. It might be really hard and you kind of feel like you've lost motor control. We're gonna try to take our thumb around the front of our other four fingers, give it a squeeze, and then flick it back open. Try to make that fist again, give it a squeeze, especially your thumb. Push the little pad of your thumb into your fingers. Try that 3 more times. Squeeze, push, push. Ooh, feels so good, doesn't it, on the inside of your wrist? Squeeze. 2 more. Last big one here. All right, great. So let that hand go. It might be a little sensitive. You're welcome to sit back and give it a rub, or you can just kind of slowly drip water off your fingertips. Bring both hands down and move around. And then let's try all of that with the right hand. Flipping it upside down, really widely fanning open our webbing, and it can face any direction. Then we want to just move any way. I always like to try to picture a compass, and then I try to hit all the spots, like northeast, all the things in between the main points, southwest. And your fingers are gonna try to close together, so we really bring life into them, opening them. The more we shift forward, the more difficult it is. Staying back is nice and easy. Toes still getting stretched. One more breath here. All right, here we go with those fists. We're gonna make a fist and see if we can especially get our thumb wrapped around. If you need to turn your hand a more accessible way, that's fine. Still gonna get a great stretch. Flick them open wide. Okay, let's try 5 more. Big squeeze. Takes a lot of concentration to get that little thumb pad locked onto your fingers, doesn't it? Great job, guys. Bending elbow is nice. Keeping it straight is a bigger stretch. Whatever works best for you. We have 3. One more big squeeze. And then see how that hand feels. Turn it back down. Whew, if it feels really jerky and tender, let's just take a second to loosen it up, like you're shaking a little water. Bring both palms down and move around. Alrighty then. Let's reactivate core and we're gonna get our bodies moving. Some cheetah poses. Extend your right leg behind you and then crunch it up into your nose. Extend behind again. Crunch it up into your right something, whether it be your wrist or all the way up to your tricep. Press back. Nose. Right arm somewhere. Now use your breath. Press back on an inhale. Exhale, crunch. Take some time, if it feels really good on one of those crunches, to fully exhale. No rush here. We're going to try 3 more rounds like that. And if you are up for a challenge, you would hover your left shin. So we have a turbo tabletop with some cheetahs. We have 2 more rounds. Last one here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Set everything back down and come into hare pose. First, reach out far in extended child's pose. Take an ease on back. Take a big sigh of relief exhalation. Wrap hands around towards your heels. If you can grab them, that's awesome. We want to try to roll our backs up like an angry cat. So put your forehead on the mat and then roll forward so you're on the very crown of your head. Tuck your chin towards your chest and you're just hovering on the crown of your head. You have so much lightness through your head and neck. As we hold on to our heels or we reach our fingers back on our mat, we're going to round our back up into the angriest cat shape we can make, into hare, H-A-R-E, like a big bunny, hare pose. Now, once again, remembering that as we reach back, we're lightening the load on our head and neck. There's no pressure there. Opening massively through the middle and the low back. Take one more breath in. One more breath out as you ease back. Take your forehead back down. Reach arms forward. One breathy stretch in this extended child's, and then back up to table. All right, so now you know where we're going. Any movements you need. We're extending our left leg back, toes to floor, or hover it on the in-breath. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, somewhere finding left arm. So that could be my wrist or all the way up to my tricep. Inhale back. Exhale, knee, nose. Let's play with that flex and point too, my friends. That makes a huge difference. So I like to flex as I push back and then point as we come forward. We're going to move this with our breath. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. How's your right side making out? Do you notice the shift of distribution? The weight goes over to one side, right? Try to stay really grounded in the 3 limbs that are down. Try to stay long in your side bodies whenever you're not crunching. And if you'd like to, right toes tuck. We have 3 more. So we're going to hover our right shin if possible. Turbo cheetahs. Breathe in. Breathe out. That makes it a lot harder, doesn't it? Even if you can get one in, be super proud of that. Super strong. Here we go for our last round. All you've got. Press back. Squeeze in. Find a regular tabletop and then lift to a very short, keep it short, downward facing dog. Short meaning my toes are really close to my wrists and I'm widening my stance out to about mat width this morning. Give a little shift, swing your hips side to side. May want to play with stretching one set of fingers forward and then replacing. Stretch the other ones forward and replace. Just find a little shimmy so you can soften into stillness. And when all your movements have stopped, reach your right hand to the outside of your left something, from your heel up to your knee. Bend it so it's easy to grab, and then try to straighten it again. So you're twisting out onto your left armpit. When we get upside down like this, sometimes we begin to clench our jaws, squinch up our faces. So just let go. Let everything hang heavy off down to the right side. One more big breath in this twist. Untwist as you exhale. Drop to knees if you need a break. Otherwise, a little shimmy back into stillness. Left hand reaches for right something. Bend your knee to make it accessible. And then whenever you've grabbed a hold, straighten up your leg. Take your eye gaze out under your right armpit. And then maybe give a little shake to your neck to remind yourself, let go. Neck and jaw gets really heavy, like things could drip off the left side of your face. One more big breath in here, yogis. Exhale, release. And then think for a second before you move. Close your big toes together. I need you to step whatever foot through your thumbs that would enable you to see me. So I need you to turn into a wide squat and be able to see me. When you get there, climb up slowly. We were upside down for a while, so we don't want to get too dizzy. Hands to knees. Maybe just a halfway lift for a sec. Rise up. Feel okay? 5-pointed star. Breathe in. Breathe back down. Sink into a squat. Doesn't have to be super strong. And rise back up. Exhale, release. A beautiful warm-up sequence for us. Breathe in. Exhale, release. Breathe in. And this time, stay down. But let's check on our knees. They're behind our toes, yes? And then we need a little play. So I'm gonna need you to be able to swivel through your heels or the balls of your feet, whatever feels most natural. Arms come really wide. Turn chest to the right side. Notice how I swiveled my back foot in to protect my knees. Bring backs of hands together. Open through the center. Turn chest to left. I swivel my right toes in. Backs of hands together. Think of yourself having wings, opening in the center, closing. I'm envisioning butterflies right now. Little butterfly spreading wings sequence, and then super dynamic through our fingers. So remember, my pace is not your pace. Your practice is unique to you, yourself, and you only. Breathe in to open, breathe out to close. Are you finding that little swivel? Might take a second, but hopefully your knees are really cozy here as you twist and turn. And if it feels really great, we're gonna hinge deeper. Bring chest towards the knee, coming in through the center. Exhale, bring chest towards the knee. Inhale and center. If possible, yogis, stay really low here. So even in the center, instead of rising, now we're gonna stay low. Exhale, inhale. Twice more each side. Think about lengthening your side body as you pull the top of your head towards the backs of your hands. Notice all this beautiful internal and external shoulder rotation. Last round. Coming into the center. Arms rise overhead, lift up and out, press palms together. Exhale, swing arms down quickly. Rise up. Press and straighten, really squeeze palms. Exhale. Breath in, breath out. Let your breath be your guide to take your ribs up, 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 up. Exhale. Okay, now stay here, but watch my change. I'm gonna breathe in and exhale, swing outside of my knee to each side. Again, we need that swivel. So if it's not comfortable for your knees to pivot, then we just stay right in the center, right here. No big deal. But if you're ready to join me, little pivot, little swing. Little pivot, big swing, 4 more. Shoulders are gonna be really happy, just like we're shaking off all the old stale, stagnant energy from our night. Center hold. Take one foot, toe heel in. Take the other foot, toe heel in. Arms come down, and a gentle left heel lift as you swing and wrap. Right heel lift, swing and wrap. So nice, releasing your low back. Look, I can stay up here just like a little rag doll. Oh, it's so nice at the top. Or, if I want to, I start to drop in to this little baby lunge. My eyes are gonna stay down, following my fingertips the whole time to release big through our back. And you might even get like a little clap on your body. Your hands may come around and kind of slap onto something. That's good. That means you really released all the tension and let go. Remembering that if we don't give up and let go in life, sometimes we tend to get dragged. So we really want to just release. 3. Last swing each way. And 1. Slow it down. It might take a second to find stillness. As you're moving, step your feet all the way up. Might feel kind of silly and fun. From here, mountain pose. Open your chest. Shoulders back and down. Plug your fingertips towards the earth and uplift your crown. Beautiful. Let's rise. Inhale. Exhale. Hands down through heart center. Can you do a little baby dive? Chest dives forward. Knees really soften, and we're forward folding from here. Knees as bent as you need them all through this practice. Right leg steps back into lunge. You're welcome to kneel or hover the back leg, whatever floats your boat. Shift forward and shift back. Use your back toes. Push and release. Finding our way into our hips, giving them an invitation to open and warm up. You might be rising and lowering, and that's great too. Any movement is good. One more big breath. And then we may be able just to spring our leg right on back into downward facing dog. If that doesn't work, you can take your back knee down, find table, child's, and then down dog. We're gonna keep this flow going, yogis. Take a breath in and out in dog. Next inhalation glides us forward into our planks. Ooh, knees may wanna come down or not. We come through, chest really open and proud, all the way to bellies. Remembering that back body warming we did earlier, crawl toes out. Hover hands, hover toes, but pull everything towards your midline. Take a big breath in, squeeze shoulder blades together, squeeze big toes in. Exhale, release. Right back to dog, or any pit stops you'd like to make along the way. In your dog, try to make your back like a ski slope here. Bend your knees and then press your chest towards your thighs. Really big chest opening, down dog. Right leg rises any degree. Really push out through the bottom of your right foot. Find that cheetah crunch. Look forward, crunch in towards your nose, but land this time. Kneeling lunge or not, and a little shift around. Forward and back is nice. Warm up your ankles. Around in a circle, up and down, anything goes. Let's see if we can lift a little bit off of our right thigh and engage more through our sides, so we're longer in necks and a whole torso. One of these springs you forward into forward fold, whoop, and then we deeply surrender. Might like to use our bodies like ladders. Let's climb to the top. One hand down, other hand a bit higher, and it's a nice little roll to the top this way. Inhale, arms rise. Palms come again, either to heart center or together up here for that dive. Remember, like we're literally going to dive forward and down. Back to forward fold. Left leg steps straight back. Little different round, my friends. Sinking through hips, kneeling or not, and we're twisting. Left fingers very light as the right arm opens. Now pause for a second and engage your inner thighs. Squeeze your right hip back towards your left big toe, lighter on the left hand. Top arm floats down, straighten your front leg. If I'm kneeling, I'm in half split. If I'm high lunging, I'm in wide pyramid. Either one is beautiful. Soften your front knee, open your right arm. Again, paying special attention to our squeeze, energy between my inner thighs, and my right hip pulling back to left big toe. Longer in the side bodies. Exhale, top arm down. Where do you want to go from here? I'll meet you in downward facing dog. No matter where you stop, you have plenty of time to explore. If you're in dog already, one more big breath in. Is the gang all together? Roll forward, breathe into plank. See if you can soften down right away. Press knees down if you need them. And then a super high lift. Extend toes back. You might want to use your fingertips this time to really boost you up. Toes and thighs are rising as well. Try to get the bottom of your thighs lifted, but then hover your fingers. Woo, less force, more invitation to squeeze through the back body. Shoulder blades in, big toes squeezing in. One more breath. Exhale, release. Downward facing dog. Well done, yogis. We're gonna wait for you, so no rush to get here. Next inhalation, left leg rises, but push so long. Look forward, find that cheetah crunch, round your back. Make this a huge step forward. It's okay if you got stuck. You know you can guide your ankle forward. Taking a breath once you get here. Kneeling or not, left fingers are rising. Right fingers are like buoys, really floating in water. See what happens when I don't squeeze my hips? We point out to the side, watch this. Squeeze inner thighs together. Find lots of outer thigh integration. Back towards my right big toes. Wiggle fingers, try to find some place to free up tension. Top arm floats down. Half splits or wide pyramid. Can't go wrong there. It all feels good. We're gonna stretch out the left back of leg. When you get ready, if your fingers are tired, you can use fists for wrists. Still really soften. Feel like your angels are lifting you up to the sky. Soft on right hand. Re-squeezing through inner thighs. Left hip point guides backwards. Top fingers fall. Back leg steps forward this time. Into fold. Surrender to your stretch and deeply bend knees if your back bodies are still feeling tight. Climb your body like a ladder or make a prayer under your nose and swing like you have a gigantic elephant trunk that takes a really long time to lift. Little swing side to side. Little massage on your backs. Inhale, arms all the way up and overhead. Big lift. And before we finish some strength work, let's add in some balancing. Arms are going to stay either up here for balance or a challenge. Clasp your hands, turn your palms up. Make sure your thumbs and your pinkies stay pressing high to sky. Lift up through your right knee. Sink down in your left leg. It's tough, right? Press right leg forward. Relift your right knee. Stand tall. Find a tree. Arms are up, so we're not going to use them. We're just going to pull up through the right outer thigh. Squeeze up a little higher. Good. Sink down. Knee lift again. Leg extension forward. Knee lift. Rise up through left leg and eagle cross. That can be right on the floor. It could be floating, or we can double wrap. Right toes behind left calf. It's really hard when arms are already overhead. It's a big balance challenge. Sink in your buns. Extend in your arms. If you fall like I did a couple times, no worries. Laugh it off. Come back if and when you can. One more big breath in. Last knee lift here. Lift. Extend. Bend your left knee. We're doing a little bit of a single-legged squat here. Really strong. Keep your arms. Lose your legs. Stand up. We're used to shaking it off, I know. So you can wiggle your hips a little bit, but we're staying up here. Left knee rises. Bend your right leg. Wobbles are good. That means we're pushing out of our comfort zone. Extend your left leg. Rebend. Straighten your right leg. Tree pose. Even toes on the floor is a good tree, but I want you to go whoosh, like you're velcroing your thighs together. Squeeze your right thigh in. Rebend knee. Sink. Breathing. Stay with me, guys. Leg extension. Rebend. Straighten right leg. Eagle wrap. Toes over. Or a double wrap. Go along in the arms. Big breath in. Extend. Sink in your buns. Send our bodies in two different strong directions. Whose hands, shoulders, and forearms are tingling? That's good. New energy. Last lift. Rebend your right leg. Leg extension. Rebend. Replace. And let the hands go. Ooh. It might be hard to shake them because they don't want to move at all. Open and close your fists. A little fist pump will get the action back. Okay, one more round of breathing into strength. Arms rise. Exhale, release. Forward fold. Any way. It doesn't have to be the dive. Whatever feels beautiful and natural to you. Halfway lift, yogis. I'm going to make it a little different. Top of head pulls away from tail. Float your fingers, please. Wiggle them, press your fingers back so your shoulders are far away from your earlobes. Top arm falls, or excuse me, fingertips fall into fold. Right leg steps back. High lunge. We're gonna climb up, and I want you to find a warrior one. So turn back toes out about 15 degrees, yes? Soften your knee, and then rise with your body. Do I have swivel in my hips? If not, it may be because my legs are too close, like on a tightrope. Step a little wider. And swivel, may not ever happen, but we're guiding our right hip forward. When you find it, sink into left leg, rise through the arms. Beautiful. Hold on to right wrist, lift up some more, then tip over to the left side. Now what did your legs do? Come on down, lift up again. Right side body is clearly opening, but can you open the left side too? That's why I want you to go so long. Tip on over. So nice. Inhale back to sky. Clasp your hands, but extend your pointer fingers and try to poke me in the nose. Reach towards me. Poke towards me. If this is too much, press your palms down on your left thigh. Otherwise, stay really strong in this warrior one. Bring your attention to your inner thighs. Lighten up your right inseam. Bend your right knee, micro bend. One more big breath. Rise back to sky. Stay. Arms fall. This is the best part. Right thumb on top, clasp behind. Chase the floor with your knuckles. Rebend into your left leg. If this is too much, here we go. You can also hold forearms or wrists behind your back to open your chests. One more big breath in. On that exhalation, rotate back toes in, frame out the front foot, press back to dog. You know your stopping points. We can do anything that feels lovely. We can skip this vinyasa entirely. But if you're flowing with me from dog, we breathe into soft plank. We breathe out, find our floor. Lift up some way, shape, or form, both upper body and lower body today. Press on back, downward facing dog. Right leg rises, breath comes in. Crunch into that cheetah, round your back, make this count. Big crunch, step in between your thumbs. It's really tough to get there. So if you need to grab your ankle, help it through. Back leg steps in. How do you want to rise? Remember those spinal twists we did earlier? Twisting around the corner. That can feel really nice on a rise. You come up any way that just feels so invigorating, so rejuvenating. When you're there, arms rise high. Breath in. Breath out. Any way to fall. I'm going to dive again. Dive forward and down, or just let your arms swan dive. Halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen. Once you arrive, take your fingertips behind you. Float your wings again. Notice a lightening sensation. Feel aliveness. Release. Left leg steps back. High lunge, because we're going to find that warrior one. So how do you want to find it? Climb up towards your knee. Land your toes out to the side. Remember, tight ropes are really scary. So let's step wider and see. We might want to manually check how our hips feel. A little swivel. Cool. Left knee soft. Inseam bright. And then we arms up. Go up through each rib. Try to find more length. Okay, hold on to your left wrist. Lift. Not done yet. Lift some more. I bet you have more. And then into the right side. Beautiful sigh of exhalation. Now you feel good. If you're tight, go for it. If you want to stay here, I like to open up. Try to feel that opening sensation in the right side as you take your eye gaze up to the left. That feels more like a crunch to me. I like it to feel really open. One more breath in. Come on forward, clasp your hands, point your fingers. Now remember, you're going to try to poke your device. Reach all the way forward towards your phone or your computer. Soften your shoulders, letting go wherever we are not in need of tension. Right toes, jaws. We can land our palms on our right thigh softly, using a big core here. Now you know why we warmed up our core so much today. Last breath in. On the breath out, rise. The best is yet to come. Let the arms fall. Left thumb on top. Stretch back with soft elbows, chasing towards our left heels. And then we may have risen, so we're going to sink back down. If this is uncomfortable on your elbows, a little pause to switch into your wrists or your forearms behind your back. Now with our ribs, we want to make sure they're staying down towards our hips. So we're always lifting long as opposed to opening from the navel and putting a lot of pressure on our low backs. Think about lift. Keeping that good spinal integration, length through the back side, crunch through the front side. Arms rise. Turn your back toes in. Frame out your front foot. What do you want to do here? Vinyasa? Come with me if you do. If you'd rather take a pause, grab a drink, wipe your face, whatever you need, go ahead and take a break. We will meet you in a moment. Inhale, plank. Exhale, release. Any back bend that feels really good to you in the moment. Up dogs would be straight elbows, lifted knees and thighs, pressing back. My friends, please join me in downward facing dog. Bend your knees tremendously if you want to stretch even longer through your spine. Take a little sway side to side. It's our last down dog of the day, so do anything that feels really lovely. And when you're ready, walk your toes a bit more forward so that you can fall to your knees. Okay, I'm going to show you from the side. From our knees, We might need lots of padding under our knees, right? So that we can get comfy here. We're gonna rise up. And we might also need props behind us because we're taking our fingertips to the floor. My toes are tucked, yours don't have to be. Fingertips to floor, and then we're gonna lift up through our buns to try to stretch out the front of our thighs. So some people may be able to grab a hold of their heels and rise, maybe the balls of your feet and rise. Anywhere you can make contact, think about squeezing backside to open the front. If your fingers get tired back here, you can make fists for wrist and really boost yourself up. One more big breath in. On the exhalation, land your buns back down. We're gonna finish up with more quad stretching. From this kneeling position, sink your buns to the left, so both of your knees are pointing left, and then open them in two 90-degree bends. So you're in like a modified pigeon pose, right? We're gonna stay modified today. Let's get a side bend on. Left fingertips down, right arm rising, and really go over long. Start the other way. Right hand somewhere, might be tough to find a spot. Lift up and over. Try that twice more, yogis. And don't think you have to stretch in one leg. Think about stretching over here or back here. Find a different way that might feel really invigorating for your low back. Get under your ribs. Switch when you're ready. I also love like a little stir if you kind of roll around for a second. When you get back to your left side, hold. Light on these hands. We're going to try to gather up our right foot and pull in this quad stretch. So this could feel great right here. This is all you need. Knowing that if I move my elbow, I can get different ways to hold on. So you have to play with that and figure that out yourself. Some people like to lift their knee. Some people like to come down here. So anything works. We're just trying to stretch out through the right front of thigh. And no matter where you are, always keeping, especially your bottom ribs, your left ribs, really long and active for that beautifully invigorated spine today. I always like to try everything because you never know today in this very second what's going to work for you. So it's nice to visit the options. Sometimes it kind of hurts if you get on a tender spot on your left cheek. Putting something soft under there can be really helpful. Taking one more breath, seeing where we can let go. Remember, we don't want to get dragged through life, so we have to spend time letting go. Your jaw, your left fingers, your left shoulder, maybe even your right shoulder. Let's rise back up. Taking a hold of this leg. Now, if your knee is tender, might need some help coming around the corner. Might need a little massage or a straightening, a little wiggle. We're gonna come out straight with both legs. And then extending through your left leg, a little hamstring stretch and a tiny twist. If this feels unsupportive, you may want to bend your left leg again. So feel how I can get my back really long. And then left hand holds on to something, either my bent knee or my straight leg. My right hand comes down to boost up, and then we twist around the corner, twist towards your right thigh. That's nice, isn't it? Feeling your spine get a little love, and then your internal organs are just getting all hugged up in there. Very incentivizing for your digestive system to get moving. Go the other way. Let's counter twist. We might want to rebend. Right hand now holds, and we're just opening. Left hand can be down for a booster. You can also piece fingers around your right big toe. Push your toe into your fingers, or hold the inner thigh. Whatever works, my friends. Open away from your right thigh now. Try to swivel eyes towards your left fingertips or over your left shoulder. Let's land, and then try everything on the right side. So take both knees to the right. We have a little bit of 90-degree bends here. Moving around so you feel really comfy on this right cheek. And a big side bend to begin. Right hand down, lift up, lift over. Use your breath. Lift up on the in breath, lift over on the out breath. Pay attention to this back knee here. We're just moving according to how our body feels great. Might try to find a new spot to lift into. Hey, how about another new spot? I like to visit all the areas. Remember that compass? Try to hit every little tiny direction in between all the big ones. And when it feels great, we're gonna stay on the right side, lifting up and over, but then grabbing a hold of the left leg in some way. We're trying to stretch out our quads. Tops of feet are good. You can activate your quad from a lot of different positions. So see if you want to get down, if you want to lift your knee, how I want this left elbow. I'm holding inside or outside of foot, all feels different. Once you have a little bit of sensation on this left thigh, let's just breathe in. Remember in the beginning, we talked about squeezing to release. While you're holding your heel to your butt, maybe try to kick back in. See if that sensation helps you. Let go. Try to let go somewhere. Sometimes I find when I start to squeeze into a stretch, I immediately clamp my jaw down. So that's a great place to start. And then you might notice other areas of your face that you're like, oh, I can wiggle out my brows or loosen up my forehead or just lessen my smile lines around my eyes. Rising when you're ready. Okay, it might take a second because this knee could be a little tender. We're gonna let it come out. If it needs a massage, please take it. Right leg is gonna do whatever feels good for you to lift your body up. Grabbing a hold of our left leg, a little hamstring stretch first. Just trying to get used to being on this cheek here. And then we're twisting around. Right hand holds somewhere on the left leg. Left hand boosts us up and we twist towards our left thigh. If you feel real strong in your core after class, we can extend left fingertips behind us. And anytime we swivel our eye gaze, that will definitely enhance our beautiful twist. When you're ready, opening your twist, coming the other way, any way it feels good. If we don't need our right hands, uplift. One more big breath in. On the exhalation, swivel back forward. Help your leg come back in. Your hips may be a little tender. And then let's sit in bound angle. See if you can lean back and let your legs do it for themselves instead of pushing them somewhere. We're gonna just let it happen. Soles of feet come together. Do your heels wanna be close to groin or away, wherever it feels really good. And then move around so your sits bones are firmly anchored. All right, we're gonna do a little spinning. So if these circles in your body don't feel good like this, feel free to just do a regular crisscross. Trying it in bound angle, we'll see if we can make some space here. We're gonna circle our torso in one way. Just finding our way here. Lifting out of low back. Crown is really elevating towards the sky. And then stir your pot in the other direction. Don't be afraid to lift your fingertips. Maybe it'll help you if you kind of glide around here. Coming back into the center and still. One in one direction. Doesn't matter which way. Switch your directions. And then come forward like you're going to fold, but then rise. So we come forward, and then we rise. Try that again. One direction. Switch directions. Forward fold. And rise. So we're going to try a few more like that with breath. And feel free to let your neck come around the corner. We might want to really slow down if we're adding in our neck. If you took your crisscross version instead of bound angle, swap your legs, do the other way. And let's try twice more. Circle. Take some time to fully immerse yourself in your breath here. Right back into the center. Any way that you feel really comfy for some neck stretches. Send your fingertips out long. Put some cushioning under your buns if you need to support yourself a little higher. We want to find that beautiful natural curve of our low backs. Tucking chin to chest And then wiggling shoulders back and down, pulling your crown a little higher, dropping left ear towards left shoulder. Right ear to right shoulder. Continue swiveling in that half moon. It feels more natural to come straight back up in between. Your neck is your own neck, so move as it feels really good. And opposite, if you want to go all the way around, if that feels safe, go for it. Try one more travel around whichever path you're taking. One more in the opposite direction. And then let's all drop left ear to left shoulder, but this time reach your right arm out. So act as if you're combing, like you can feel the teeth of a comb really coming along the right side neck, maybe along your shoulder. Stretch out a bit further if you don't feel it. Lift up longer in your left side. Release your hand. Right back into the center. Might take a second if you feel a little like, whoo, big stretch. Right ear to right shoulder. Lift up from that side body. Stretch out through the left fingertips. And again, envisioning that combing sensation coming through your neck, over your shoulder. Reach fingertips out a little more. One more big breath. Coming back up through the center. That should feel pretty good now that we're not circling anymore, but you feel a little woozy, take your time. Coming back into heart center for a seated meditation today, if you can. Just a little bit of work on our heart space at the end of class. If you'd prefer lying like we started with steeple knees or feet towards sky in a waterfall, if you'd rather get cozy against the wall, do whatever feels really nurturing. All the hard work is over. Now we get to marinate in the simple pleasures of our breath. Taking a moment to get really cozy. And then try to invite yourself to be still right here, right now. Focusing back on some conscious breaths. Hopefully at the end of class they're feeling a little bit longer, a bit more purposeful. Like you could stretch them all the way to the tip of your toes, all of your hair follicles. Make each cell feel really smiley and happy, newly invigorated with this breath. Purposeful inhalations. Feel your chest falling. Feel your surrender as gravity takes over on each release. In between breaths, see if you can find that perfect moment of stillness, that pause. It's so subtle, but it's so wonderful when you can tap into that. This is the moment we want to take off the mat with us, finding breath, finding the stillness in between breaths. Letting breath be our guide for the rest of the day. Envision the possibility of releasing fully deep down into your supports. Keeping your beautifully confident, long spine, this great posture, but everything else can dissolve outward into your space around you. Still aware of our breath in the foreground, any noises or sounds in the background, still aware of all of our sensations, really immersing in the breath. Being open to an awakening of not just our breath, but our hearts and our minds today. Think of how we opened our chest in those postures. Be aware of your heart space, emotions that arose or are still coming up. Notice how it feels to be fully present in the center of now, fully immersed in your body's breath, in your experience. Simply recognizing that this slowing down, this change of pace, the new energy we brought in and this new experience can completely change the course of our day. We're moving forward with a clearer mind, leading from the left side, leading from our heart. And let's celebrate the simple act of noticing how our breath can travel through our bodies to reinvigorate, revitalize, re-energize. Let's honor our deepest intention in class. which is to just be here, be present. We'll close our practice today with 3 really conscious breaths together, trying to find that slight little pause at the top. And I really love an inhalation through the nose and then a deep sigh of exhalation. It's just that signal to your body that everything is okay. Breathing in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Try that twice more like that. And as we go through today, we're going to continue with a kind and giving heart towards the life that is within us, but all that is around us as well. I'd like to congratulate you on taking the time to slow down, listen to your bodies, come back to your breath, come back to yourself, come back to the power of now. And after that last exhalation, I really hope you can stay longer, like maybe 5 or 10 more breaths wherever you are. But to honor your time, it is 10 a.m. So if you have to get back to your life and your daily thing, slowly start to gather yourself back up. If you stayed seated, this is really nice because half the work is over. But if you're lying and you want to turn to fetal, curl yourself up into a little ball and give yourself a huge hug. Wherever you are, we're breathing in and finding our way back to seated together. Once you've arrived, let's close our practice with an intention. Mine, I love to share with you, is peace begins with me. Bring your hands to your heart center, trying to connect with our heartbeat, and then lift your heart up into that space. Tuck your chin to your fingertips as a sign of gratitude for your beautiful mental, spiritual, and physical practice. And let's internalize that mantra, breathing in and breathing out. You can even say it out loud. Peace begins with me. Yogis, the light in me honors, acknowledges, is so grateful to have spent the hour with the light that is each and every one of you. Namaste, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that you have a really wonderful Thursday.